Welcome to Uptown Garage, your one-stop auto solution. We are here to redefine your automotive experience. We offer expert auto repairs. Our certified technicians handle everything from routine maintenance to complex repairs. State-of-the-art diagnostics tools. We use cutting-edge technology to pinpoint and fix issues accurately. Fast and friendly service. Your convenience is our priority. Trust. We've built a reputation for honesty and transparency. Experience. With years of experience, we've seen it all. Quality. We use only the best parts and materials. Our warehouse is always full with industry standard auto parts. We are specialized in oil changes, brake repairs, tire services, engine diagnostics, transmission repairs, AC service, and much more. We are located at the corner of Broad and Nelson Streets and another outlet on the RIA Road in Rehab. Your vehicle deserves the best. Choose Uptown Garage for top-notch auto care.
At Savannah Commercial Center, we're redefining the way you do business right at the heart of the city. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, or a growing corporation, Savannah has the space for your business. We have retail shops available for a variety of products such as clothing, electronics, home goods, and many more. We also have office spaces for rent at affordable prices. Very convenient, overlooking the city center. The offices are well tiled with expensive wooden doors and classic bathrooms. At every floor of the 4-story building, we have somewhere unique for your business. Savannah also offers cargo handling services. You can shop from anywhere in China and ship to Savannah conveniently and securely. With over 20 years of experience in the international shipping industry, we guarantee faster services, affordable fees, and less stress to get your goods. Don't miss your chance to be part of the success story. Contact us today at Savannah Commercial Center on the numbers written on the screen.
M2 Store, located on Randall and Ashman Streets, is the best place to shop for all your kids' back-to-school needs. As we walk through the store, you will find a vibrant and exciting range of items that will make going back to school a delightful experience for your kids. First, let's take a look at our backpacks. They come in all shapes and sizes, from playful Spider-Man designs to sleek and stylish options for older kids. These backpacks are not just practical but also fashionable. Next up, we have an array of school shoes. These shoes are not only comfortable but also designed to endure the rigors of a busy school day. You'll find sizes from every age, from tiny tots to growing teens. For creativity and learning, we have a fantastic collection of writing materials, from bright and bold pencils to colorful pens and markers. Your child will have all the tools they need to let their imagination run wild. And of course, you will need some stylish notebooks and stationery. Our shelves are stocked with notebooks in different sizes and patterns. Don't forget about lunchtime. We have a fantastic selection of lunch boxes that are not only practical but also come in fun designs your child will love. Rush now to get the best back-to-school materials for your child at M2 Store.
international observers, we have journalists and other group of people coming to the hall to witness this all important results of the just ended presidential and legislative elections. Yeah, and I have with me our news director, which is Aisin Hiba, who is here, and together we're going to bring you play-by-play description. Yeah, and we have a lots and lots of the entire crews here. We have the CEO, Randa P. Jackson. We have the manager here, Josiah Eswia, and Gotolo. One of our staff is also here as well. So we will talk more about the elections and other activities here today. As you may be aware that the National Elections Commission have, release provisional results of the presidential election and that are for the representative elections or the legislative elections, and have also called winners of those districts and that of those counties senatorial elections who have won the senatorial elections from the just ended 2023 presidential and legislative elections. So to get really through, we'll talk about the representatives, those who are members of the 55th National Legislative. The 55th members we go now. We will start with Bomi County. We have for district number 1, we have Obadiah J. Vannin of the former ruling Unity Party, and we also have for Manen P. Johnson, he retained from district number 2, Bomi County as well, and we also have for Sam P. Jala of district number 3, Bomi County, a new lawmaker, and district number 1 is a new lawmaker as well. And we also talk about Bon County. We have district number 1, we have Prince K. Conan, an independent lawmaker who won the just ended elections. And we also have for James M. Cole, he retained his district. He also won a by-election when the former deputy speaker won the senatorial election in 2020 and went to the House of Senate. James Collette also won the by-election in district. He has also retained in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. We also have for district number 3, we have incumbent Mervyn, that's Josiah Mervyn Cole from CDC, won 2017 elections and also retaining his seat in 2023. We also have for district number 4, we have incumbent Robert Flemo Wume from the Unity Party, who won in 2017 and also retaining his seat in 2023. So just to go through, we also have for district number 5, as a district number 5 representative, also contested for the Senate seat in Bon County, in president for Edward Kafia, and he was replaced by Eugene J.M. Colley of the CDC, the ruling CDC, and we also have Moeman Bridge, an independent candidate from district number 6, Bon County, and Foley Famule also replaced Papa Cole of district number 7 in Bomi County. So as times go back, we will also bring you some of those lawmakers who have replaced some of those current lawmakers at the 54th National Legislative. So we were joined Aisi Diba to bring us some of those results from the last 2 days results from the National Elections Commission. So my name is Patrick Enwise. So let's talk about those last results from the National Elections Commission. Let's join Aisi Diba, the Director of News at KMTV Liberia. I'd like to say welcome, Aisi.
Well, thank you very much, Patrick, and thanks to our follow us, watching via Facebook, also YouTube. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on our KMTV channel on SACOM channel 3. Well, it is a pleasure joining us once again at the headquarters of the National Elections Commission here in Monrovia, to be precise, Now Street. And today, as you may be aware, a final result into the October 10, 2023 general elections are to be announced today. And so at the moment, we have observers who are actually making their way, like you heard from Patrick, and we have scores of journalists from different media institutions across the country, international journalists. I also here to witness this all-important occasion. So the commissioners are made of 7, and just to address you, we have the chair, who is Madam Deviator Brown Lasana, and we also have the co-chair, who is Councillor P. Tabla Reese, and we have Flo Seon, who is also one of the commissioners. We also have Commissioner Mbasi Leo Pamba, and we have Commissioner Josephine Kowu Gay. We also have Commissioner Mbwaka A. Dukle and Commissioner Ernestine Morgan Howard. So the team of 7 will be here as they announce the official result today, but all fingers have been pointed to the issue of runoff, owing to the fact that the total number of votes that were cast, and looking at the huge percentage of invalid vote amounting for 115,000 plus invalid votes, and looking at the total number of votes that were actually accumulated by some of those presidential candidates who took part in the race. So our finger is pointed towards a rerun. So, but we are not clothed with the authority to announce the official result of elections. So we do this by coming here to the house charged with the power to announce results. So we are here today, and the press conference or the press briefing is expected to start as usual 4:30, but sometime we go a little over 4:30, 4:35 due to some technical issue. So, but like we said, on the last day of the pronouncement of result, official results, because on the day many consider as the last, we did not have the Elections Commission giving us results, and so announcement was made, and so we are here today. But just to drill you through quickly, Patrick, about the total number of votes that were actually accumulated by some political parties. To begin with, we have the CDC actually got a vote of 803,956, which constitute 43.84%. And we go over to the Unity Party with the total vote of 796,513, and it constitutes 43.34%. We move over to the CPP with 29,612 votes, constituting 1.61% of the total vote cast, and the NPC, that is the Movement for Progressive Change of businessman Seymour Freeman, got 13,198, constituting 0.72%, and we have the LPP, Liberian People Party, of Councillor Tiawon Gwanglo, accumulating the total vote of 26,391, constituting 1.44%. We have ACO of Lucini Kamara, and we have 35,984 votes, constituting 1.96% of the total vote cast. We also have the DPPL, and they have 5,084 votes, constituting 0.24%. We have the LFM, that's the Liberia First Movement of Sheikh Kouyaté. We have 5,097 votes, constituting 0.28%. And we also have LENU, Liberia National Union of Dr. Clarence K. Manumba, with the total vote of 5,298, constituting 0.29%. And we have ALL, that's the African Liberation League of Madam Sarah Beslo Yanti, with the total vote of 3,643. So this is just a taste of the iceberg to bring you up to speed with what exactly the votes given or accumulated by political parties here stands. And as we await the official result today, well, already like Patrick Drejuchu, and we're going to be going back to him to give us more names of those representative candidates, or who you call representative elect or senator elect from various counties and districts across the country. So one of the key issues that has been raised or has been raised through all this press briefing is the issue of the invalid vote. The number of invalid votes in this election have been actually huge, amounting to 115,000 plus. Can you imagine? So, Patrick, before we go to the list now to begin with, or continue with some of those names that you actually started with, firstly, let's look at the issue of invalid votes. What comes to mind, in fact, when you listen to the National Elections Commission announcing a huge storm of votes considered as invalid vote?
Well, I'd like to say thank you ever so much, IAC Yiba, and I think from your question, what actually prompted to the huge number of invalid votes from the just ended elections, and I think exactly, it was due to the low educational or civil voter educational, support from both the National Elections Commission and that for the political parties in Liberia, because everyone was just focused on the number of votes that he or she can acquire from the just ended elections, but forgetting to note that we had many first-time voters. We had many first-time voters in the sense that people have just turned 18 in 2023, and though some people did not turn 18 in 2023,
even 19, 20, 21, 22, could be considered
but they
first-time voters.
Yeah, certainly, but most of them have not voted. They had not voted, so they needed to be abreast with the issues of voting, how you should vote, whether you should use a thumbprint, whether you should use a check mark, or you should use the X mark, or what. But the National Elections Commission did not do more in civic voter education. Likewise, the political parties as well. All they needed to just do more, know your candidates, and what have you. Those are things that political parties needed to do during the campaign period of the elections.
Another point is looking at the issue of civic voter education on the part of the National Elections Commission. Unlike other elections wherein we saw billboards across the country telling people how you go about voting, because mind you, the election body is the constituted body to tell people how to vote in an election. So though the political parties will want to take on to themselves to educate their voters, but it squarely lies in the purview of the National Elections Commission to provide those necessary information. I would rather see a big billboard in town where you have the ways to vote on it, so that voter can be abreast with how to vote done good. But unlike other elections, I did not see a level of publicity coming from the National Elections Commission in terms of civic and voter education. Something my media colleagues will want to agree with me in that there weren't much publicity. Even the media institution were not engaged. As to sometimes you have the media institution being engaged and go about doing this voter and civic and voter education in the various vernacular and then being played on the radio or on the TV. But unlike all of the election, I did not see such thing happening.
Yeah, certainly, Aezi, you are quite correct for what you have just stated, and I think that must be done due to the poor, financial strength of the National Elections Commission.
Do you want to believe that the National Elections Commission was actually financially depressed when it comes to the election? Because all along we've been here, the chair has actually told us that all was set in terms of funding and everything needed to have this election conducted. So I don't want to believe that is the case. If you think so, are there any justification to prove that point?
Well, might not have a substantial justification to do that, but based upon they say facts speak, or words speak actions speak louder than words. But the National Elections Commission, like you correctly stated, unless other elections like the 2014, the 2005, the 2011, even the special senatorial election that we had in 2020, there was more publicity done by the National Elections Commission to that of the civic voter education, the sensitized, first-time voters. I might say this: my first-time voting was in 2020. Though I was not at the age of 18 in 2020, but 2017, I did not have the opportunity because I've actually had some opportunity to go out for studies. So before I could return to Liberia, it was actually, the end of voter registration process. So I did not have the time to actually go to vote in 2017. But 2020, I took the advantage of that to go and register. So there was a lot more of voter education awareness in Liberia than this 2023 general and presidential elections. Because for me, I feel that the issue about National Elections Commission not going out to provide more civic voter education for first-time voter is that due to low budgetary support. Because we all are aware that the National Elections Commission, due to the budget that they put forth, wasn't met. It wasn't met 100% from the government and all international partners. So they are actually trying in their weak way. But in other words, the National Elections Commission as well were also very, very mean to the media. I'll use the word mean so that people can understand exactly what happens between the Elections Commission and that of the media. Because we had other media outlets, like the KMTV now, what we are doing here is also a role, is a vital role that we are playing. And we also have other media institutions out there. But the government of Liberia and that of the NEC thought that they could only use a specific media institution. A specific media institution that will put forth the issue of the National Elections Commission as it relates to the the civic voter education process. But not knowing, every media outlet has its own audience. They have its own audience. So I would actually say that the National Elections Commission did not do well between they and the media. So that was the cause of the huge invalid vote that we acquired during the just ended elections.
Well, so just as we were actually speaking, we observed the presence of the European Union. So we have the European Union observers. They are actually in the hall. We have people, observers from UC, and we also have observers from the Muslim Council of Liberia. We also have observers from the Christian Council of Liberia. They are also here, and the hall by the moment is getting a bit packed, and so we are hoping that in a moment or two we will have the commissioners entering into this hall to have us abreast with the final results for the October 10th elections. So let's go back to Patrick. You were actually going through the listing of some of those lawmakers that were actually redeemed and some who are entering in. And one district that was actually a district of concentration was the district number 10 in Masurata County of Representative Yeke Koluba. There's this school of thought from two sides, one from the opposition community and the ruling, that Representative Koluba could not have make it to the Capitol building owing to the fact that they think in their mind that he is a vocal lawmaker and some of his utterances are not actually in line with how a lawmaker should proceed. And another one is from the opposition community who believe that Representative Koluba is actually speaking truth to power, and based on that, he should be retained. We saw people crisscrossing, and there are a whole lot of candidates that were actually coming forth, and some the public actually thought that they could actually put a challenge to him, but when the Elections Commission started announcing results, we saw that going the other way. What do you think may have led to this whole hauling and pulling about Representative Koluba retaining district number 10?
Well, you know that there is a saying that says that there is no small election, most especially once we comes to national elections in Liberia. And firstly, we should understand the three cardinal functions of a lawmaker. The three cardinal functions of a lawmaker are lawmaking, oversight, and what? Representation. And representation, right? You have to make a law. You have to do your oversight as a lawmaker, and you also have to make the people of the constituency in which you represent to be felt at that August ballot. So I think in every word that Representative Yeke Koluba was actually carrying on his three cardinal functions as a lawmaker in district number 10, Masurata County. So that was why he was re-elected. As you may be aware that during the voter registration process, you had more people or more citizens in Liberia living their various districts, going to district number 10 to do their registration just to vote for Yeke Koluba. I had an encounter where I had during the voter registration process in February of this year, where the people I had 5 to 6 individuals who have left from Grand Bassa County to come to Masurata District number 10 to go and do their registration. So I asked them, why are you people going to District number 10 to do registration? They said, we are going to do registration to vote for Yeke Koluba. Why are you people voting Yeke Koluba? And most of them said he's vocal, he's not hiding any secret at the parliament. Everything that goes on at the 54th legislature, he's actually bringing it out to the Liberian people. So through Yeke Koluba, we are actually understanding what is happening at the lower house. And likewise, Senator DeLong of the upper house as well from Masurata County. So those people, those individuals are believed by the people of Masurata that they are actually doing well in their cardinal functions as lawmakers rather. And in other words, there were too much tension. Though I'm now opposition leader or ruling position, but I think from my own journalistic point of view, I think that more people or more inhabitants of Mossoraro County or Liberia believes in Yega Koloba and Alaba Senator Delon, because they are bringing, according to them, they are bringing truth to the Liberian people, unless the other lawmakers in the country.
So thank you. So we hope our camera can flip to the commissioners. As we speak, we have one, we have two, we have three, we have four of the commissioners who are actually at the main entrance of this conference hall. We have Commissioner Josephine Kouge, who is also here, and we also have Commissioner Flo Sion. We also have Commissioner Basi Leo Pangba, and I also see the co-chair, who is Aldo, Councillor Tapla Reeves, and so they are actually awaiting, and we see the arrival of Commissioner Bwaka A. Dukle, and also we see scores of observers are marching in. The former president of FLA and Amos Williams is shaking hands with the commissioners. So in a moment or two, we hope that the National Elections Commission will begin this all-important press conference or press briefing here as we went here. And so, Patrick, we just dealt with district number 10, and let's talk about district number 8 in Mossoraro County, district number 8 of Akaros Moses Green. And so he was actually defeated or replaced, for better choice of word, with Prince Toh of the Unity Party. What do you make of one of the strong fighters of the CDC losing on to the Unity Party in district number 8?
Well, I think it was done by Liberian people. Liberian people, most especially once we get into election, they are the employers of our leaders in this country, according to Article 3 or Article 3 of the Liberian Constitution. They are the employers of the country. The power is invested in them to elect officials of this country. So I think they thought that Representative Gray of district, formerly of district number 8, Mossoraro County, did not do the inhabitants of district number 8 well. One reason that I think they voted against him, or two reasons. I did a background investigation with some citizens. I did a chit chat with them, and some of the reasons was, one, he actually left Liberia, going to get married in Paris, France. Two, with the riot, as you may be aware of.
Yeah, the UL protest with the Student Unification Party.
Certainly, where Representative Gray went and had.
Well, I'm sorry, Patrick, we got to hold you there. Well, we are witnessing the arrival of the commissioners. We have Madam David Eto Brown Lasana, who is dressed in her black coat, white blouse, and black and white skirt. We have Commissioner Tabla Reed, Commissioner Bwaka Dukle, Commissioner Josephine Kouge, Commissioner Christiana Howard Morgan Howard, and we have Commissioner Basi Leo Pangba and that of Commissioner Flo Sion. Well, so they will now have their respective seat as we move over to the head of communication here, Prince Domba, who will actually usher the media and the commissioners to this all-important press briefing here at the headquarters of the National Elections Commission. So as soon as we get word from Mr. Domba, we will be turning over control to bring you this all-important press briefing. But yeah, Patrick, as you're saying, the issue of the UL student
Yeah, definitely. The issue of the UN, that's a UL protest. With representing the gay, Akaras Gray, and that of the soup. Those where hate defeat actually came from, because most of the students from that party actually live in district number 8, and they thought that he actually infringed on the right of the students in Liberia. So that's how they went and voted the way they actually voted during the 2023 elections.
Well, we're going to be going more into up this involving the election results. So let's now move over to Mr. Prince Tomba to begin this all-important press briefing.
The Republic of Liberia, the National Elections Commission, Madam Chairperson, Madam Co-Chairperson, and members of the Board of Commissioners, the ECOWAS resident representative to Liberia, Ambassador Josephine Nkrumah, local and international observer missions in Liberia, the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, ALJA for short, members of the Inter-Religious Council here present, and the Secretariat of the National Elections Commission, partners of the NEC, UNDP-DR, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate. Once again, we are pleased to welcome you on the compound of the National Elections Commission and to this daily press briefing following the 2023 general elections. The chairperson of the National Elections Commission is Madam Deviata Brown Lansanan, who will now address this conference. Madam Chairperson.
Good afternoon. In recognition of United Nations Day, I invite you to please stand for a moment of reflection. As the United Nations celebrates another year of unity and sustainable development toward global peace, the National Elections Commission of Liberia is reminded about NEC's commitment to this year's UN Day theme, quote, "Action for Peace," unquote, by conducting free, fair, transparent, inclusive, and credible elections. The Commission's commitment to peace is also to put at the disposal of all candidates in the 10th October 2023 presidential and legislative elections the electoral dispute resolution mechanism through which their grievances will be heard and resolved according to the law. In the words of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, quote, "Peace is needed today more than ever before," unquote, stressing that, quote, "It is our responsibility to help build that world of peace, sustainable development, and human rights for all," unquote. Happy UN Day to all. Madam Co-Chair, fellow commissioners, distinguished stakeholders, fellow Liberians, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission and to the Commission's daily press briefings. In today's briefing, the Commission will announce results of the elections in Nimba County District Number 4, Biolontuo, and the final nationwide results for the presidential, senatorial, and representative outcomes of the 10th October 2023 general elections. Members of the press, as you are aware, on 10th October 2023, Liberians went to the polls to elect their leaders, including a president and vice president, 15 senators, and 73 representatives. Election Day, 10th October 2023, was characterized by a record high turnout of 1,947,155 voters, which constitutes 78.86% of the 2,471,617 total registered voters. This huge turnout is unprecedented in Liberia's modern democratic election history and is due in part to the Commission's successful transition from optical mark recognition OMR system to voter registration to the use of biometric technology for the registration of voters, which produced an excellent final registration roll for the 10th October elections. The Commission notes that these elections attracted much attention from some 10,000 national, regional, and international long-term and short-term observers that were accredited by the Commission to observe the elections. These observers were deployed across the 15 counties of Liberia, and they took stock of how the NEC implemented international standards and electoral best practices in conducting the elections in Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, following the close of the 10 October polls, the Commission, in its daily press briefings, informed Liberians and stakeholders about post-election day happenings, ranging from disruption of tally processes across the country to electoral malpractices by some temporary staff recruited by the NEC. Specifically, at the Monserrado Tally Center at the Samuel Canyon Dos Sports Complex, 5 temporary staff allegedly involved in malpractices were arrested by the police. Similarly, in Grand Cape Mount County, 4 NEC temporary workers were arrested by the police for alleged electoral malpractices. In both cases, they were remanded into custody pending court trial. The names of these temporary workers are quarantined in the NEC database as they will not serve in any future elections in Liberia. In Nimba County, District Number 4, 2 polling places in Precinct Biolontuo witnessed the disruption of the counting process when some individuals made away with ballot boxes, damaging their contents in the process. This led to the rerun of the 3 elections at the 2 affected polling places in that precinct. Despite these and other challenges, the Commission notes the completion of counting, tallying, and collation of the results from the 20 October 2023 elections in Biolontuo. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, before proceeding with the announcement of the results of the Commission of the elections, the Commission expresses thanks and appreciation to Liberians for voting in huge numbers. The Commission also extends its thanks to the United Nations ambassadorial missions to Liberia, the African Union and ECOWAS Commission for providing technical, data, and IT support, as well as logistical and other equipment and materials which strengthen the capacity of NEC to deliver on these elections. These partners are also appreciated for their intervention through various mechanisms, including the National Steering Committee on Elections, which advocated for the Commission's readiness to conduct the 10th October polls. The Commission also applauds the Ministry of Justice and the Joint Security for their steadfastness in maintaining peace, yea, their proactive and reactive responses to incidents that could have permanently disrupted the electoral process, but for their timely interventions. To the temporary staff, as well as NEC employees and the NEC management team, we thank you for your diligence in the preparation and execution of your duty during the conduct of the 10 October polls. To the owners of properties that were used as voting precincts, the Commission remains grateful to you for your patriotism and selfless love for country. The Commission also applauds the general public and the general support of international, regional, and local organizations, including Democracy International, LEON, ESA, ECC, etc., to the over 10,000 national, regional, and international observers who observed the 10th October 2023 presidential and legislative elections. The Commission's final commendation goes to the political parties and candidates generally for their peaceful participation in the 10 October polls. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, here now are the presidential, senatorial, and representative outcomes of Electoral District Number 4, Nimba County elections conducted recently. I will begin, and my colleague, Commissioner Awa, will join in. Nimba County, 736 polling places, of a total of 736 polling places, constituting 100%. Alperton Junior Edward W. GDM, votes obtained 6,128, constituting 2.64%. Boyka Joseph N. UP, votes obtained 138,070, constituting 59.53%. Brown Junior Allen Ara LRP, votes obtained 3,501, constituting 1.51%. Cummings Alexander B. CPP, votes obtained 2,592, constituting 1.12%. Freeman Simeon CM MPC, votes obtained 2,481, constituting 1.07%. Gonglo Tiawan Se LPP, votes obtained 17,024, constituting 7.34%. Kamara Senior Lucini F. Alcup, votes obtained 2,481, constituting 1.07%. Kiamon David G. B. D. PPL, votes obtained 678, constituting 0.29%. Collie Alexander N. RNC, votes obtained 617, constituting 0.27%. Kuyate Sheikh A. LFM, votes obtained 781, constituting 0.34%. Kroma Bendu Alema Independent, votes obtained 842, constituting 0.36%. Miller Richard Say LFP, votes obtained 380, constituting 0.16%. Maniba Clarence K. Lionel, votes obtained 397, constituting 0.17%. Morris Roberts Friends Independent, votes obtained 518, constituting 0.22%. Nyanti Sarah Beslow All, votes obtained 411, constituting 0.18%. Tweeder William Ware DNA, votes obtained 1,257, constituting 0.54%. Turner Joshua Tom NLP, votes obtained 835, constituting 0.36%. Weah George Mannen CDC, votes obtained 50,427, constituting 21.74%. Wapo Jeremiah Z votes obtained 1,319, constituting 0.57%. Yofi Luther N. Rebuilders, votes obtained 1,191, constituting 0.51%. Total valid votes 231,930, constituting 100%. Total invalid votes 16,422. Total votes 248,352. I now invite Commissioner Awa to read the senatorial and representative votes from Nimba County District 4.
I present to you the National Elections Commission's Progressive Tally Report consolidated for the Senate, Nimba County, today, Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. The Senate, Nimba, 736 polling places of the total of 736 polling places, constituting 100%. Candidates: Johnson Prince Yomi, MDR, votes obtained 128,437, constituting the valid votes of 54.92%. Tyen Junior Nya, Independent, votes obtained 56,651, constituting the valid votes of 24.23%. Duo Roland G, CDC, votes obtained 20,015, constituting the valid votes of 8.56%. That concludes the Senate, Nimba County. We proceed with Electoral District 4, Nimba County. 84 polling places of the total of 84 polling places, constituting 100%. Candidates: Mencier Senior Ernest M., MDR, votes obtained 7,760, constituting the valid votes of 28.89%. Kargon Gompu L, CDC, votes obtained 7,755, constituting the valid votes of 28.87%. Kwanu Orlando M, NDC, votes obtained 2,047, constituting the valid votes of 7.62%. That concludes the returns from Nimba County. Madam Chair, I duly submit.
Thank you, Commissioner Awa. Members of the press, the Commission, having completed the nationwide tally of votes with 100% of all polling places reporting, the following is the final presidential election outcome, which I now read. National Presidential Progressive Tally Report Consolidated. 5,890 polling places of a total of 5,890 polling places, constituting 100%. Alberton Junior Edward W. GDM, votes obtained 40,271, constituting 2.20%. Boyka Joseph N. UP, votes obtained 796,961, constituting 43.44%. Brown Junior Allen R. LRP, votes obtained 15,607, constituting 0.85%. Cummings Alexander B. CPP, votes obtained 29,613, constituting 1.61%. Fremont Simeon CM MPC, votes obtained 13,205, constituting 0.72%. Gonglo Tiawanse LPP, votes obtained 26,394, constituting 1.44%. Kamara Senior Lucini F. Alcop, votes obtained 35,988, constituting 1.96%. Kiamon David G. DPPL, votes obtained 5,086, constituting 0.28%. Collie Alexander N., RNC, votes obtained 4,398, constituting 0.24%. Kuyate Sheikh A., LFM, votes obtained 5,100, constituting 0.28%. Kroma Bendu Alema, Independent, votes obtained 5,991, constituting 0.33%. Miller Richard Say, LFP, votes obtained 2,885, constituting 0.16%. Monimba Clarence K. Lino, votes obtained 5,298, constituting 0.29%. Morris Robert Friends, Independent, votes obtained 3,363, constituting 0.18%. Nyanti Sarah Beslow, all, votes obtained 3,644, constituting 0.20%. Tweeder William Ware, DNA, votes obtained 11,184, constituting 0.61%. Turner Joshua Tom, NLP, votes obtained 9,813, constituting 0.53%. We are George Mane, CDC, votes obtained 804,087, constituting 43.83%. Wapo Jeremiah Z, votes obtained 9,149, constituting 0.50%. Yofi Luther N, Rebuilders, votes obtained 6,479, constituting 0.35%. Total valid votes, 1,834,516, constituting 100%. Total invalid votes, 114,639. Total votes, 1,949,155. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the results of the 10th October 2023 polls showed that the ticket of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, obtained the highest number of votes, 804,087, constituting 43.83%, followed by the ticket of Unity Party, which obtained 796,961 votes, constituting 43.44%. However, ladies and gentlemen of the press, Article 83B of the Constitution of Liberia requires that for any presidential ticket to win outright on the first ballot, that ticket must acquire at least 50% plus one of the valid votes cast. Article 83B further states that where no presidential ticket obtains at least 50% plus one, the two presidential tickets that receive the highest number of valid votes shall participate in a runoff election to be held on the second Tuesday following the expiration of the time provided for in Article 83C. With the results of the 10th October polls showing that no presidential ticket obtained 50% plus one vote, a runoff election is hereby declared to be held on Tuesday, 14 November 2023, between the two tickets that obtained the highest number of votes, the presidential ticket of the Coalition of Democratic Change, CDC, led by Mr. George Mane Weah, and the presidential ticket of Unity Party, UP, led by Mr. Joseph Numa Boyka. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, political campaign for the 14 November runoff election is hereby declared open today, 24th October 2023, and shall close on the 12th of November 2023 at 11:59 p.m. All of the results read can be found online, results.necliberia.org. I thank you. We take your questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Question?
Well, thank you, Madam Commissioner. My name is Ayisin Iba, and I report for KMTV. Well, as per the various reports that came out during your many press briefings, I'm concerned with regard to the total number of ballot papers that were actually untouched. Can we get a figure?
We can get you the figures later. They're not before me, and I need to be exact.
Madam Chair, my name is Eric Kennedy, and I represent Arjar. Given all that we now know, including but not limited to the challenges and the circumstances that attended the October 10 poll, what lessons has the Commission learned, and what can you do differently, if anything, as we go through or as we go to the runoff elections in November? Challenges including the problem you have with transporting materials to Sino County, people commandeering ballot boxes in Lima, and all of that stuff. So what is the Commission planning to do differently so that we don't encounter those problems again? Thank you.
You want me to answer, or you just want to go straight? Okay. I think basically, and this is unrehearsed, I think basically that one of the lessons that the Commission has learned is to ensure that all logistical options are on the table with respect to reaching hard-to-reach areas. In other words, we had to use boats to send some of our materials to the southeastern and northern region of, of the country. Specifically, boats for the southeastern region because of access to the ocean and additional rugged vehicles to reach to places that, like Nimba and Lofa County. Yeah.
Thank you. Madam Chair, my name is Henry Kamo, and I represent the Front Page Africa. Madam Chair, my question is, with evidence provided by this commission, where you reported that NEC workers were arrested for malpractices, should or would you consider this a fair elections you just conducted, especially where your temporary workers were involved with malpractices? And should the public trust you for the runoff, especially when you will be using the same people, the same NEC workers?
I will answer your question by saying that we told you that the NEC workers in the Monserrato Talley Center as well as in Cape Mount were caught and turned over to the police. That's one action that we took. The second action we took was to ensure that whatever malpractices they were engaged in were reviewed and corrected on the spot. And if you say whether this election is fair, I would say by the actions that we took to make corrections as we're going on, and the fact that we brought those problems to you and the Liberian people and told you what corrective measures we put in place to address the different challenges that we had, I would say to you that the 2023 10th October elections were fair elections. Yeah.
Do we trust you?
Certainly, you should trust us today, tomorrow, and the day after.
All right, so Madam Commissioner, my name is Prince Mobile, and I report for Prime FM and Focus on Liberia. So I have two concerns. One, now that the Commission has announced the final result and also announced date for a round of elections, this issue was experienced during elections day. People had valid voter cards, their names were captured in the FRR, but when the polling places, they were told that others have voted in place of them. Is the Commission aware of that? If so, what was responsible for that? And what can the Commission do so that we cannot have the recurrence of that during the runoff elections? My second concern is we have recorded huge number of invalid votes, 14,000 plus invalid votes. What was responsible for that? If I got the figure correct.
Yeah, let me start with your last question. Invalid votes, I don't know how to put it. There are multiple reasons why we normally experience invalid votes in elections. And this is not a Liberian thing. This cuts across most of the African countries. What might be different would be the number. In this case, we say is 114,000 plus. So there are several reasons, but I will just name a few. We learned along the way that the number of ballots, 3 ballots given to voters, some were confused and did not know what to do. It looked too much for them, so they folded them without marking them and put them in the ballot box. Then, invalid votes also comes about when Liberians decide, and I'll put it this way, to be vexed with a candidate that they don't like and mark the person's face all over. Sometimes they put some 4-letter words all over their faces. And I'm saying this because we have done a survey before. And we saw some of the things that Liberians put on those faces of candidates that they don't like. They don't want to see the person, so they want to scratch them off the ballot. Secondly or thirdly, some persons will mark outside of the box completely. There are just multiple reasons. We've been criticized for not conducting enough CVE to ensure that voters will mark the ballots the way how they are supposed to. So we take that correction. We'll do our best next time. But also, too, I would say that when we formulate a budget to address most of these things, those of us who criticize now should be the ones to say to the legislature, give the people the money. Because every step of the way that we take, we pay for it. So if we next time have to go from door to door to explain to Liberians how to mark the ballot, we need to be supported financially. Then finally, I would say that to address civic and voter education in the long term is to ensure that electoral information is integrated in the curriculum in all of the schools, including at university level. So people get to know how to mark the ballot, they get to know their rights and all of that. And they get to know not to be vexed with the candidate that they don't want to see. Because when you mark that ballot and you are vexed marking that ballot, you are simply saying, I spoil my ballot. Yes.
I was asking of people going to vote, and then they are captured in the FRR, but then they went to the polls, they never got students that somehow already voted for them. We saw that.
this is something that is new to me personally, because I have been receiving reports for many things that happen in the field. Some of them I went and saw myself. But this particular one that you're talking is not before me, it's not before the commission. But probably you may be alluding to the fact that those who were multiple registrants were placed in the back of the FRR. That booklet has two parts. The first part is for Liberians registered genuinely in a particular polling place, so they come first. Then those who committed the crime of registering more than once are placed in the back of the FRR. So there are two parts. One part for the good people and the other part for those who committed crime. If you come and bring your card and say you come to vote, you are checked in both parts. If you're not found in part one, they look in part two. And if you are in part two will say where you first registered, and the workers, election workers, will direct you to that place that you first registered. And you are supposed to go there, not to go to different other places that you did not register, to be looking for yourself where the other places are.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Ngamen Lomo. I work for the News Public Trust. I would like to know how many electoral dispute cases before the NEC and how many of it have been disposed. Two, can we also know the budget needed for this runoff election? Thank you.
Those are two questions I cannot address immediately because the budget is not before me. And with respect to the number of cases, we know that we have received cases, something close to, I think about 5, thereabout, between 5 and 8. Some of them are being heard at the local magisterial level, and then the others are being heard here. And we started hearing them already, but we have not ruled in any yet. But the information that you need, we'll give them to you the next time, please.
So 3 men.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. My name is Evelyn Sikri. I report for AFP and DW. I just want to know from you, one, how is the Elections Commission considering the issue of inking the voters' fingers before casting the ballot or after, which approach will be used during the second round? My next question is, of these different disputes and now election result has been announced, what happens and how do the public get to know the actual findings from these investigations?
I will say to you that we conduct hearings here at the commission. And if you're interested, like others have been, you probably might want to come. What we try to control is that when you come as a journalist, you write what you see and hear. We will not encourage recordings. So you can also come. That is the press and any other persons who may want to come. Then what was your next question? Inking the finger before. We ink the finger before they cast their votes. Is that how it happens, my friend?
Yes. And let me say that. The reason there is.
Hold on, please. Let the most experienced commissioner in the area of field coordination, let him talk.
Thank you. The reason why we ink before you cast your vote, because when you cast your vote, that's the last aspect of the process, and you have to leave the center. And the time you would take to drop your ballot into the ballot box, the ink have dry. And when the ink dry, it's a situation that indeed you have voted. And the staff will monitor you while you are putting your ballot into the ballot box. Now the issue that you want to raise would be the stain. The stain will not affect the mark that person has placed on the ballot paper. No, it will not mark. Because once the ink is placed on your finger, it takes less than 2-3 seconds to dry.
recommendations coming from the public because at some polling centers, like all folks, like people who are not very literate about the voting process, in the process of polling, there are reports of these things running through on other people. Now I'm asking whether the Elections Commission is considering that as maybe another approach of what to do, whether after the casting of ballots to avoid these
But if the ink is placed on for instance on the ballot paper, the mark of that person, the intent of that person is known by the presiding officer. So it does not amount to invalid vote. It does not amount to invalid vote.
Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Hello? 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 Yes, please. Please, can we just have it quiet and then if you understand the question a little better and you want to say something about it, you can go ahead.
Okay, so to this question, I was to some of the polling places where the votes will be counted. And the poll watchers and the elect workers were declaring those ballots invalid because it has spilled over, even though the intent was clear for the check mark, but because of some little mark on the other candidate box, those papers were declared invalid.
All right, thank you very much. Let's have one of our technical staff who's the deputy for administration share a little more light on this. Go ahead, Mr. Cole.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The reason why we ink before you cast the ballot nowadays is that some people refuse to get inked. And once you shall have cast your ballot, there's no way that we have a remedy. So that's the reason why we say before you cast it, you are inked so that you don't return. And we agree with what you said, but during the training, we will see what to do to make sure that the ink does not spill. But from our experience, people get inked after they cast their ballot. But in the past, some people cast their ballot. You say, come, let's ink you. They say, no, you can't ink us. What do you do in that case? You cannot withdraw the ballot from the box. So that's the main reason why we have transitioned from inking after casting to inking before casting. I hope you understand.
In other words, we thank you for that recommendation and we'll look into it.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I'm Nelson Collet, and I report for the Spoon Network. I have 3 concerns. The first one has to do with reports of trucking and another report of individuals purchasing voter registration cards. For the trucking and that, now, considering that elections are expected to be free, fair, and transparent, let's speak to the aspect that has to do with free. What is the National Elections Commission doing to ensure that these issues are addressed? Okay. And I made specific reference to a candidate in Bond County, Morgana Flomo, who was heard on the local media this morning, that he had issues with trucking and all of that. He reported to the National Elections Commission since July up to present. He's yet to receive a redress on that. What is, now that you've announced a runoff, how do you intend to address that situation? That's my first concern.
Okay, you hold it there, please.
Okay.
The issue of trucking. Now, everybody's business here. Everybody's business. Because it's your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle that get in a truck from one community and go to another community to vote where they do not reside. They go there. The Elections Commission's mandate is register Liberians as voters. Now, if we are to police people who were trucked, then it means that it's another mandate that we are delving into that is not prescribed by law. But we work with the LNP to ensure that the law that says you should register and vote, register to where you ordinarily reside, and it's in that same place that you are going to vote. We all should strive to ensure that this happens. And it's not the business alone of the commission. This is a very difficult situation that any election finds itself in, and either we go back to the law for it to be revised to ensure that people who get in trucks, motorbikes, bicycle, some people can even move without riding any of those things, and they move in mass from communities. Now you know the difficulty in checking that. So maybe we need to petition the legislature to strengthen the law that speaks to trucking, and then perhaps all of us might be satisfied that the rest of us remain in our communities. Secondly, I would say to you, even in our advocacy, the awareness raising about people's rights to vote and to use the law as it says, you should register where you ordinarily reside, and it's that same place that you vote has been one of the key messages we have targeted different communities and to speak about in those civic and voter education exercises that we have conducted. Now, the issue about, you say people purchasing voter cards?
There are reports of that.
There are reports. So these reports, the NEC cannot substantiate them. We can substantiate these reports. But it's against yourself to sell your card. It's against yourself to give your card to anybody else other than you. Because it's with that card that you can exercise your franchise, you can make that decision to vote for who you want to be your president, your senator, and your representative. If you want to give your card to somebody else, that person cannot use the card because the person is not you, but the person buying your card can prevent you from voting. So we all need to be aware of this and I don't know, talk to our brother, sister, auntie, uncle, and children.
And the last two concerns. Okay. So we saw that from the start of this process, for the first time, the BVR, the biometric voter registration, was introduced. What significant impact did that BVR have on this process to sort of curb the malpractices and all of that? And what's the status of the payment of those temporary staff? The last time you spoke of it, where are we now? Have they been paid?
The staff are being paid. One of the, and maybe my colleagues can join me too, the brain getting tired, but I say to you, the biometric voter registration that we conducted captured your unique information, your unique feature, your face, your thumbprint, and the rest of the other information on your card. Your face and your thumbprint, even if you were a twin, would be different. Nobody else is you. And that is so important. The BVR also was significant because, yes, one person, one card. One person, one card. As we expect, well, one person, one card, one vote. The cleanup was necessary because some of our relatives went and registered more than once.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Commissioner. My name is Jonathan J. Slonton, and I report for Ambassador Stevie Liberia. In one of the press briefings, you mentioned that some of those who were to go at polling places on election day, they did not go, they didn't show up, so they were replaced by other people. And I visited a few of the counties. Voters had issue with those who were assigned in those places, some of those. One, the person couldn't identify or couldn't even know what to do when it comes to somebody being pregnant who stood online for 8 hours. Other people as well were not prioritized. And in one of those places, somebody stood online in the morning, went to the person and said, "Is this my line?" He said, "Yes." Only for the lady to reach at the door, almost 5-6 hours standing. They said, "No, you are not here, you are at the other place," which raised serious contention. What is the election commission doing for such a thing not to occur in the runoff?
We will do everything humanly possible to train the staff to do the right thing. So probably what you may have experienced was unique to that one person who was also trained to recognize persons with disabilities as well as pregnant women, and others. So I would say that was just one case. Next question, please.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner and the Board of Commissioners. My name is Moses Gazu from the BBC. One very important question. We said the second Tuesday after the legislative period for the first ballot, but the second Tuesday is not the 14th of November. Why? Is there any reason why, Madam Chair?
Yeah. The reason is every electoral or elections that happens, there is something in the law that says you need to give a period for people to digest what you have pronounced. And if at all someone is not satisfied, they can raise contention. So you need that 7-day period. So then you start counting. You understand what I'm saying? Then you start counting from that. Yeah. That is so correct. But we also have Supreme Court opinions that we look through and they make the decisions. And we lift them to make the decisions here in the commission. Next question, please.
Thank you. My name is Gerald Koyinen. I write for Front Page Africa. I want to follow up on a few of the questions we asked last week. One is about your data analyst that was accused of being partisan. And when we asked you, you said the CDC who filed the accusation was yet to appear for the hearing. Did it appear? If no, what happened to your data analyst? Was he recused from the process entirely, or he was allowed to do his work?
Let me answer that question. Let me answer, please. We told you that a complaint was filed by the CDC to the commission. That complaint is being processed. And to be processed means that the burden of proof and everything else that a complainant brings to the table will also have to be reviewed. So we say we have the complaint and we are processing it. Your second part is that normally when somebody complains against you, you continue your work until the process reaches the point where they have to either recuse themselves. But let me also say that in the data center, we told you before that we had consultants, experts. We had 2 from the AU, 2 from ECOWAS, 2 from UNDP. Now, the way it works inside there is that everyone gets a buy into what a problem is or a contention, and all of them decide before processing the data. So it's not just one person calling the shots. Yes.
Thank you. So finally, last week you mentioned that the commission already has the budget for the possible runoff. Now that you have announced a runoff, what is the budget for the runoff?
We'll give you that figure in due time. So we take another 4 questions and we call it a day.
My name is D. Olivia Bawon, and I report for Local Voices, Liberia and Truth FM. Madam Chair, what's the level of coordination between the state security and the NEC? Because during the recent election, some of us journalists were denied access to some of the polling places on the order of 1 or 2.
I can assure you that the commission will continue to provide that information to the LMP, that you have accreditation and you should be allowed.
My name is Tina S. Mempe. I report for the Daily Observer newspaper. A follow-up to the invalid votes question. So I would like to know whether the invalid votes that was recorded will be audited to know whether it was as a result of over-inking or it was just because some voters didn't like certain candidates and then they went ahead and messed up the ballot papers.
We explained in a previous question that it's the usual procedure or process that the National Elections Commission engages in to do a survey after these elections to know why we had this number of invalid votes. And once that is done, we share it with you.
Madam Commissioner, thank you so much for the hard work. My name is Achid Boan, and I report for Today Liberia Television. I have two concerns, and one has to do with those electorates that were involved in double voting. Since the onset of the provisional results pronouncement, we haven't heard from the elections commissioners as it relates to those who were involved into double voting. Since then, have you observed any case and how far you have gone with those cases? Because when we were in the field, we observed a lot of cases of those that were involved in the double voting. And for transparency's sake, I think it is prudent enough for the National Elections Commission to flag this issue out, because this alone will put fear in those who be electors who will be involved into that. And my second concern...
Let me answer you there, please.
Okay.
The issue about double voting, if it comes by way of complaint to the commission, I can assure you that we will deal with it.
Yeah, so the second question, it means, before I go to the second question, so you are alluding that since then there have been no case of double voters?
No, I just told you that if we get those complaints, we'll deal with them.
Okay, now to the second issue.
Because if you complain formally, it becomes legal. It becomes a legal process. So when we get through that, we'll let you know.
Okay, the second concern has to do with most of the staffers that are assigned to those polling places. They are not aware of the fact and the role that journalists played when it comes to the elections period. I'm saying to say, I mean that we journalists were denied of entering into polling rooms when there were countings and voting. We were only informed that we are not allowed to carry our camera to a voting booth, but we were denied by our staffers from entering into the polling rooms to observe how the elections have been conducted. So I want to know as to whether there's any formal education provided to establish on the role of journalists in or during the elections period.
Okay, let my colleague who knows about the business, let him expound on it a little bit. Commissioner.
Thank you. Let me say that the journalists too should know the do's and the don'ts. During the electoral process, we encourage journalists to go around, because journalist is a roaming person who go around will observe the process. But when it comes to the counting and polling process, the observers that is accredited to that particular center are the ones that are in that center to observe the counting and polling process, and counting and sorting and reconciliation process. Because when something happened down there, you who roaming around the area, you don't know exactly what happened down there. You'll not be reporting the fact as compared to someone who has been there from the morning up to the time counting, reconciliation, and sorting will be taking place. So again, the issue about the do's and don'ts is very important. Some of the journalists, very good professional people, but some of the journalists will just go to the center and look at the police and say, I'm a journalist. I need access to this thing. And some of the journalists were even reporting live while the thing were taking place. So the do's and the don'ts are very important in the process. We don't have problem with you going during the process to observe what is taking place there. But when it comes to the issue of sorting, reconciliation, and counting, that is a dedicated issue. And people, that's why we encourage the party agent, the independent candidate, the national, international, etc., to be there so that when anything happens down there, it can be easily solved as compared to you be roving around. You know, you don't have the facts about what has taken place there. Sometimes the little issue that occurred there, the presiding officer has already solved that problem. You come, you say, I'm a journalist. You want to go back to the state. So sometimes some of the journalists can go start the process. And I don't think it's a good proceeding. We can encourage you. And that's why when you are moving around as a journalist, go to the presiding officer and say, presiding officer, I'm assigned into this polling place. I want to be there for counting, reconciliation, and sorting. At that point in time, now, you're not a journalist, but rather you are an observer, and you are there to observe the process. But when you carry your tie on the polling and counting procedure as a journalist, then sometimes the presiding officer will follow the do's and don'ts and say, oh, can you please leave because this place is assigned to people who are assigned as a party agent, independent candidate, and what have you.
So hold on, excuse me, sir, please.
I'm saying when you are a journalist, time for counting, sorting, and reconciliation, you are to tell the presiding officer from the beginning and say, I will be here for the counting, and at that time, you are not a journalist, you are an observer.
Thank you, Commissioner. Hello, please. I can understand because I worked 20 years as a broadcast journalist and at some point a reporter. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But let me say to you that we usually conduct training for journalists to cover elections. So we will remember now that it's critical to process you in a training so we can know, or you will be able to know what your metes and bounds are in terms of how journalists can participate or to cover an elections, how far you can reach into the polling place and all that kind of, information that is needed. So I guarantee you that this will happen because, my friend, I didn't recognize you. You won't give me a hard time yet. I am assuring you that we'll do something about it. Yeah, so the agitation, don't worry about it. It's good.
So we'll take the final question.
Well, of course, my name is George Johnson Jr., and I work with United Methodist Radio. Madam Commissioner, thank you ever so much for the hard work. But I would like to know from you exactly, looking at some of the electoral malpractices, how does that actually equate that to your strength and your weakness?
So I would say then our weakness. You understand what I'm saying? If we employ temporary staff, we train them to do a particular job. They go to do the job and they deviate from it. The thing is, it's not a commission that told them to go do that. They decided to do something otherwise. And this is why we informed you that, yes, they are under the Elections Commission in terms of being temporary staff to conduct the elections, you understand? But they deviated from those instructions that we gave them. And this is why they found themselves being arrested by the police, incarcerated, and on their way to court if they didn't reach there yet. But I'm saying to you, 32,000 Liberians, we expect them to be neutral. And even if you were not neutral there, the fact that you signed up and you signed the oath, the NEC oath, that you will conform to the statutes or whatever to conduct elections, and you deviate from there, it's a grave thing. It's grave.
We'd like to say thanks to you for coming. We'd like to say thanks to the members and chairperson of the Board of Commissioners. Thank you very much.
We apologize, Minister. We apologize. We apologize for that, ma'am. We apologize, ma'am. We apologize for that. We apologize. We apologize. We apologize, ma'am. We apologize. We apologize, ma'am. We apologize.
Welcome to Uptown Garage, your one-stop auto solution. We are here to redefine your automotive experience. We offer expert auto repairs. Our certified technicians handle everything from routine maintenance to complex repairs. State-of-the-art diagnostics tools. We use cutting-edge technology to pinpoint and fix issues accurately. Fast and friendly service. Your convenience is our priority. Trust. We've built a reputation for honesty and transparency. Experience. With years of experience, we've seen it all. Quality. We use only the best parts and materials. Our warehouse is always full with industry standard auto parts. We are specialized in oil changes, brake repairs, tire services, engine diagnostics, transmission repairs, AC service, and much more. We are located at the corner of Broad and Nelson Streets and another outlet on the RIA Road in Rehab. Your vehicle deserves the best. Choose Uptown Garage for top-notch auto care.
At Savannah Commercial Center, we're redefining the way you do business right at the heart of the city. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, or a growing corporation, Savannah has the space for your business. We have retail shops available for a variety of products such as clothing, electronics, home goods, and many more. We also have office spaces for rent at affordable prices. Very convenient, overlooking the city center. The offices are well tiled with expensive wooden doors and classic bathrooms. At every floor of the 4-story building, we have somewhere unique for your business. Savannah also offers cargo handling services. You can shop from anywhere in China and ship to Savannah conveniently and securely. With over 20 years of experience in the international shipping industry, we guarantee
for the runoff, and the NEC have announced that campaign starts today, and on November 14th, there will be the two parties going for the runoff, and so we wait to see what happens in the runoff.
Yeah, political issue across the country. Looking at the two parties going into the runoff, what's your prediction? What do you hope for? What should the public expect in this runoff election?
It will be a very tense runoff. But one thing I can tell you is that turnout will be very low. For the fact that you just alluded to it, some people chalk voters, some people are not in the race again, especially the representatives and the senatorial candidates. So there will be a low turnout. By the end of the day, it is the two parties that have the opportunity, the responsibility to go out to the voters and make their case to see who have the best message to govern the country for the next 6 years. But from what I see so far since I've been on the ground after elections, it will be a very, very tough election between the two parties. And so it's all about turn out your voters to go and vote.
Quickly, let's look at the issue of invalid votes. The number of invalid votes in this election is very huge, 114,000 plus.
Yeah, like the chair said, some people, it was all because of some mistakes people made. Either they did not follow the instructions. Some people, is universal, happening all in other countries. Not Liberia, it's not only Liberia these things happens. But at the end of the day, they're going to educate people how to vote, and you guys as the parliament to also help the voters how to go about voting, marking the voting cards. But I believe that the runoff will have less of such a problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aisen.
Well, he's stumbling Josh of the closing argument, and so now, before we close up, let's give you the total number. But at the moment, the National Elections Commission have announced November 14, 2023 as runoff day, and so now you can go about campaigning because campaign opens today, October 24th, 2023, and it will close on November 12th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. So the total number of valid votes is 1,834,516, and the total number of invalid votes is 114,639. Total votes cast is 1,949,155. So, Patrick, listening to the results coming in, wherein the CDC came up with 804,087 votes, constituting 43.83%, and the Unity Party with 796,961, constituting 43.44%. According to the Constitution, Article 3B, when such results is being in the confine of the National Elections Commission coming from political parties, the two parties that actually reached the higher mark, now as we are witnessing from the CDC and the UP, it further goes down to instruct the National Elections Commission to conduct an election the second Tuesday after the result shall be announced. So, looking at the election now going to a runoff, taking into consideration that is what is your reading now as a journalist as we move about, since if I listen to the election chair giving all of the challenges and prospects for the rerun or the runoffs, that is?
Yeah, I would say thank you once again, Yezin Yiba, for that, this question. And previously, before the start of the pronouncement of the results, the final results today from the National Elections Commission, did stated that due to some low budgetary, income from the National Elections Commission, that was why they were actually facing some, challenges in the civic voter education and other key areas during the election process in October of this year. And from what I said, exactly is what that was what the chairperson actually, she actually stated to that. And for the runoff that we are actually going to, that campaign have started today, and it will end on the 12th of November 2023 at 11:59 p.m. I think, the ruling establishment and that of the opposition community need to do more as they did during the previous elections. They need to do more in terms of sensitizing their supporters as it relates to election, because you might be aware now the number have changed. Instead of 18 and out of 2, one person have migrated from 18 to number 2, and the other have migrated from number 2 to number 1. So there should be more civic voter education process to their supporters, or else we have more. That will not be an invalid vote, but maybe
people might be placing their vote to the wrong place.
Yes,
Since in fact, you have the Unity Party during the October 10 election to number 2 position, and the CDC was to 18, but now there is no 18 on the ballot.
but the UP is 1 and 2. So those of our mothers, brothers, sisters, and other family members who are way in Blomu, those hard to reach areas in rural Liberia where partisans or campaign people of those political parties cannot reach. Definitely they will not understand exactly. Maybe for instance I voted CDC or during the first round, and this time around I don't know the position of CDC, so maybe I might just go to the booth and just stay anyone I want to take. I might not be aware of the position of my candidates and that of you. So the National Elections Commission as well need to do more in that. Likewise, the political parties need to do more. So the 2 weeks they have given them to campaign for, or maybe less than 2 weeks, they need to do more in civic voter education process. So to avoid people voting to the wrong place or voting the wrong person in this runoff elections.
And she also alluded to the fact that they propose a budget to the legislature, and then they decide what to give them. So the money given them is what they usually work in. So that was exactly a justification for why some of these media engagement, like the issue of civic and voter education, has not been in the public or coming forth. But I'm afraid, Patrick, we got to leave it there. But as we move forward, what's your final message for media institutions that are some way, somehow propagating messages in place of political parties and not looking at their journalistic role in the election?
Well, for that, I might say, we as journalists, we need to do more in our reportage. Let's forget about our sentiment and not putting our feelings into elections and serve the public. Because once you pass through the ring of fire of a journalist, definitely you will know the actual, meaning of a journalist. Because a journalism creed, there's a part in the journalism creed states that the public interest is first, right? So we should put the public interest first, then our own interest. Because being a supporter, definitely we are all human and we have rights to vote. But I think be you supporting party X or party Z or Y, that part, it should be known to the public. At least it can be known to yourself, and definitely you can do what you want to do when you go to that booth.
Well, thank you. Well, he's my colleague Patrick Wisse. We love to say thanks for following KMTV. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and also SACOM Channel 3. Well, we love to say thanks to our technical team here. Our man Joshua Gotulo has been behind camera. Manager Josiah Weah has been here also. Our CEO Ronald P. Jackson. The rest of the team member Amos Thomas Momo. We also have Princess Kosiba, Clement Toure. Well, the rest of the team, Emmanuel Do Jaina, is sitting at control at our base in Central Monrovia. Well, on behalf of the entire team here at KMTV Liberia, my name is Ayesini Iba, bidding you a wonderful day from the headquarters of the National Elections Commission in Monrovia.
Welcome to Uptown Garage, your one-stop auto experience. We offer expert auto repairs. Our certified technicians handle everything from routine maintenance to complex repairs. State-of-the-art diagnostics tools. We use cutting-edge technology to pinpoint and fix issues accurately. Fast and friendly service. Your convenience is our priority. Trust. We've built a reputation for honesty and transparency. Experience. With years of experience, we've seen it all. Use only the best parts and materials. Our warehouse is always full with industry standard auto parts. We are specialized in oil changes, brake repairs, tire services, engine diagnostics, transmission repairs, AC service, and much more. We are located at the corner of Broad and Nelson Streets and another outlet on the RIA Road in Rehab. Your vehicle deserves the best. Choose Uptown Garage for top-notch auto care.
At Savannah Commercial Center, we're redefining the way you do business right at the heart of the city. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, or a growing corporation, Savannah has the space for your business. We have retail shops available for a variety of products such as clothing, electronics, home goods, and many more. We also have office spaces for rent at affordable prices. Very convenient, overlooking the city center. The offices are well tiled with expensive wooden doors and classic bathrooms. At every floor of the 4-story building, we have somewhere unique for your business. Savannah also offers cargo handling services. You can shop from anywhere in China and ship to Savannah conveniently and securely. With over 20 years of experience in the international shipping industry, we guarantee faster services, affordable fees, and less stress to get your goods. Don't miss your chance to be part of the success story. Contact us today at Savannah Commercial Center on the numbers written on the screen.
M2 Store, located on Randall and Ashmore Streets, is the best place to shop for all your kids' back-to-school needs. As we walk through the store, you will find a vibrant and exciting range of items that will make going back to school a delightful experience for your kids. First, let's take a look at our backpacks. They come in all shapes and sizes, from playful Spider-Man designs to sleek and stylish options for older kids. These backpacks are not just practical but also fashionable. Next up, we have an array of school shoes. These shoes are not only comfortable but also designed to endure the rigors of a busy school day. You'll find sizes from every age, from tiny tots to growing teens. For creativity and learning, we have a fantastic collection of writing materials, from bright and bold pencils to colorful pens and markers. Your child will have all the tools they need to let their imagination run wild. And of course, you will need some stylish notebooks and stationery. Our shelves are stocked with notebooks in different sizes and patterns. Don't forget about lunchtime. We have a fantastic selection of lunch boxes that are not only practical but also come in fun designs your child will love. Rush now to get the best back-to-school materials for your child at M2 Store.